Michael shifted in his chair. Yeah, big nose, Marlon repeated, grinning. Don't y'all all got the same big ass nose? I'm lost. And then you dumb dumb. He got the big nose from somewhere. Did he get it from your father? I bet you won't call Joseph big nose. The Wiz offered Michael a temporary avenue of escape from the negativity of his male siblings and father. When he moved to New York in July 1977 to begin the film, he asked Latoya to accompany him. I remember reading about this in Latoya's book. The two resided in an exclusive $2,000 per month 37-floor apartment located in Manhattan's expensive Sutton House. Ain't this a bag of beans? What year is this? 1977? Child, you gotta damn near pay $2,000 to live in the hood. How did America let this country get so messed up? If you're not on some kind of subsidiary, you got to pay $2,000 to live in the These hood? Few months would be the first time the two Jacksons had ever been away from the rest of the family. Catherine was nervous about her children being off on their own, but she decided that it would be best if someone could be with Michael. And Latoya being there was as close to me being there as possible. She and I were so much alike back then. Well, yeah. Now leave it to Latoya. In her mind, Michael couldn't breathe without her because they was the best of friends. And remember when Catherine did go down to visit Michael on set, and the scene was when they were sawing the scarecrow in half, and Catherine was lunching so bad because she couldn't take it visually. This lady thinking that they was fitting to really saw her baby in half. She couldn't take the get my $1 million baby off the fucking table. Just in case. Though Latoya was apprehensive about being away from home, Michael basked in his new independence. He was nothing like the odd Michael Jackson you hear about nowadays. Rob Cohen remembered. Back then, he was great fun. We had the best time. He, Latoya, me, and some of the others involved with the project would go to clubs every night to dance. I had misspoke and called Studio 54, Club 55 several times. My bad, y'all, but we had a Club 55 back home. Okay, that kind of equated Studio 54, except for we ain't had flying elephants and drunk horses and naked ass old ladies doing booger sugar on the floor. I remember Latoya saying that they had went to Studio 54 a couple of times and some of them people offered them drugs. And Michael was like, no, I just want to dance. That's it. He was not fearful of going out in public then. He was excited, like a little kid in a playground. The only thing on his mind was work during the day. And I've seldom seen anyone work as hard other than perhaps Diana Ross and play at night, filming the $24 million movie. At the time, one of the most expensive films ever produced, took place from October 3rd through December 30th, 1977, at Astoria Studios. It was hard work, 6 days a week. Michael would awake at 4 in the morning in order to leave for the studio by 5:30. Following her mother's instructions, Latoya would prepare an early breakfast for her brother, usually consisting of orange juice, bacon, buttered toast, herb tea, and oatmeal. Michael's makeup for his role as Scarecrow took cosmetologist Stan Wilson 5 hours to apply. I loved it, Michael told me after the film was done. I was the Scarecrow from the time the makeup was put on until the time it came off, which I hated. Sometimes he said he would even go home at night wearing the makeup. It was a welcome cover for his acne, he said. Once it was applied and his phony nose and bright wig of steel wool pads were in place, Michael could walk around and not be recognized. Though, of course, he drew more attention in that getup than he would have without it. Manhattan was full of excitement for Michael. Rob Cohen recalled he met Jacqueline Onassis at the Rainbow Bar. He talked about her for days afterwards, how glamorous and sophisticated she was, how he hoped one day to know her better. He met Carolyn and John Kennedy at the Robert Kennedy tennis tournament. He did more socializing than he does today, sometimes with Diana. There was actually a bit of tension between Michael and Diana during promotion. I can see this. So, you know how some people got it and some people don't? And the ones that don't have it have to work very hard to get it. I say Janet Jackson is the kind of person, she could dance her ass off. But I know she practices a lot to get those moves to stick. You know, Michael would be given a direction to do a certain move in regards to dancing, and that shit would stick every time. Michael is a natural dancer. Diana Ross ain't. We know this. She just kind of slinky when she moves. Okay, but she's still the boss. I don't give a how slinky she look. All right, but she's still the boss. One time, Diana Ross went to him and said, "You catching the moves too quickly. Stop it. You're making me look bad." Michael said, "Well, I don't mean to, Diana. You know, it's just me. Stop it, goddamn. I'm the star of this movie, not you. I appreciate that you here, Michael, but stop it. Slow down a bit." So I tried to act like I didn't always know what I was doing so I could make her feel better. Michael had only happy memories to share with the press where Diana and the Wiz are concerned. She would come into my dressing room every day and ask what she could do to make things more comfortable, he said. She was like a mother to me. I love her very much. Yeah, okay. After The Wiz was filmed and before the movie was released, it was back to business as usual for the Jacksons. However, Michael now felt differently about his family and his career. Satisfied with his work in New York and having been praised by people whose opinions mattered to him, he was filled with new confidence in himself as an individual artist. He wanted to begin work on a solo album he had been promised by Epic as soon as possible, even though the rest of the family wanted to concentrate on the third Jackson's Group album for the label. The family won again. The group went into the studio to record Destiny, the first Jackson's album said to be written and produced by the group itself. Destiny was by far the most exciting Jackson's album to date, including all of those recorded at Motown. For the first time, the group put together a cohesively structured album. There were no filler songs. All 8 songs were noteworthy. What's more, Michael had never sounded better than he did on this album. As a result of years in the studio and in front of audiences and genuine love for singing, he had become an intuitive, brilliant stylist. Though off to a bad start with the high flash pop of Blame It on a Boogie, a single that didn't even make it to the top 40 in the US but sailed into the top 10 in Britain. Destiny would fare much better than Going Places. Don't blame it on the moonlight. Don't blame it on the good times. Blame it on the boogie didn't fare well? How's that, Clarence? How did that happen? The real showcase was the mesmerizing Shake Your Body Down to the Ground. Oh, yeah. Let's dance. Let's shout. Shout. Shake your body down to the ground. Written by Michael and Randy. Oh, okay. I didn't know Randy. Okay, Randy. Released in February 1979, it was the biggest hit of the album, peaking at number 7 on the pop charts and selling 2 million copies globally. Shake Your Body personified the contemporary disco trend with its crackling lead vocal by Michael, whip-snapping chorus from the brothers, and insistent persistent backbeat. It is still regarded by many music critics as the perfect dance record and one of the Jacksons' strongest efforts. I was one of the reporters the Jacksons spoke to when they were promoting Destiny, meaning J. Randy Terabole. Since I had interviewed them so many times in the past, I knew to stay clear of in-depth musical discussions. Still, my time with them that August day in 1978 was memorable. What he said was he was there talking to the brothers, the family, whatever, including Joseph, well, the brothers and Joseph, except for Jermaine. And while he was there, the brothers were teasing each other. They were actually teasing Michael. You going to tease the star? Now, maybe it was their way of trying to keep Michael humble. Okay, you can sing, dance, and all that other stuff and write music, but you still got a big ass nose. You still ugly. You still got acne all over your face. That's cruel. Now boys are stupid and dumb, but that's cruel. Children are cruel. During our 2-hour interview, Michael shared his thoughts on a wide range of subjects. I don't know much about politics, he admitted at one point. Someone told me recently that Gerald Ford was president. He chuckled. He was in good spirits. Not at all that shy. In the middle of the interview, good-natured ribbing among the brothers turned nasty when someone brought up the subject of nicknames. Mike has a nickname, Jackie mentioned, his eyes teasing. It's a good one. Now, Jackie being the oldest, you know fucking better. No, Reby was the oldest, but I'm saying Jackie being the oldest boy. You know better. So, what someone just brought up to me, see, Lou always got he kills me with this. But anyway, what someone brought up to me was that Michael was in his feelings when somebody picked on him. But didn't he tease Janet Jackson and call her donkey butt or something like that? See, that's why it'd be weird to me. It's like, I can do you, but you can't do me. That's that Virgo shit. Michael's smiling face turned serious. Don't, Jackie, he warned. He looked away. We call him, please, you guys, Michael pleaded. Big Nose, Jackie finished. The brothers laughed among themselves. Michael shifted in his chair. Yeah, Big Nose, Marlon repeated, grinning. Don't y'all all got the same big ass nose? I'm lost. And then you dumb. He got the big nose from somewhere. Did he get it from your father? I bet you won't call Joseph Big Nose. At the interview, we walked outside to take photographs in the warm California sunlight. Joseph, a hulking 6-footer with a mole on his face, a pencil-thin mustache, and a diamond pinky ring the size of a marble, approached me. You see, I have a philosophy about raising children, he said, engaging me. My father was strict. He was a school teacher, and he treated me like I was one of his students, not like I was his son. I never got any special treatment. I'm glad that happened. I got a strict raising when I was young, and I've been able to accomplish a lot because of that. And my kids have gotten a strict raising, and look at what they've accomplished. I think children should fear their parents. It's good when they fear you. It's good for them, and it's good for the parents too. I did my best with those boys, he said, pointing to them as they posed for pictures. Have they ever disappointed you? I asked. A sober expression crossed his face. Lots of times, he answered. Jermaine's with Barry and Motown instead of with us. He chose Barry over me. Do you know how that makes me feel? That's not what happened. That's not what happened. And I'm sad to think that Joseph felt that way. It hurts right here. Joseph thumped the left side of his chest with his fist. I've been disappointed other times too, he continued, but I don't think I have ever once let my boys down. If I did, too bad for them. You do the best you can do raising kids, he said. Smiling, it helped that they had something to look forward to. They always had entertainment and me to rehearse them. And they also play character building sports like football and baseball. And that's when he goes into how he know his boys would have been athletes, all of them except for Michael. He said Michael was going to be an entertainer from day one. Earlier in the day, I had conducted an interview with Cindy Lumet, director of The Wiz. Michael Jackson is the most gifted entertainer to come down the pike since James Dean. Lumet told me he's a brilliant actor and dancer, probably one of the rarest entertainers I have ever worked with. Word. When The Wiz was released in October 1978, it became a critical failure and a box office disappointment.